हेलो एवरीवन। वेलकम टू लीगल टॉक्स विद सीएस यतिन। तो चलिए आज हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं एक अगेन लैंडमार्क जजमेंट के बारे में। मनिका गांधी वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया 1978, द जजमेंट दैट गेव लाइफ टू आर्टिकल 21। कैन द गवर्नमेंट सडनली टेक अवे योर पासपोर्ट without telling you why, without hearing your side, without giving you a fair chance to defend yourself, and then simply say, because the law allows it? Is that enough in a constitutional democracy? This exact question reached the Honorable Supreme Court in one of the most revolutionary constitutional cases in Indian history, that is Manika Gandhi versus Union of India 1978. A judgment that completely changed the meaning of liberty in India. Today, we are discussing one of the most transformative judgments in the Indian constitutional law. If Keshwananda Bharati protected the constitution structure, then Manika Gandhi case gave real life and soul to fundamental rights. This case completely transformed Article 21, personal liberty, procedural fairness, and the relationship between fundamental rights. To understand this judgment, we must understand the constitutional background. In the early years, Indian courts interpreted fundamental rights very narrowly. In A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras, the Honorable Supreme Court had taken a strict and technical view. The court said each fundamental right is a separate, like separate rooms in a building. If a law satisfies Article 21, then Article 14 and 19 need not be examined. What Article 21 said? Article 21 states that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. Earlier interpretation was very dangerous. It meant as long as some law exists, government can deprive liberty even if the law is unfair. So let me give you a simple example. Uh, Suppose Parliament makes a law saying any citizen may be detained for 10 years without hearing. Under old narrow thinking, mere existence of law would be enough. That approach gave enormous power to state. And after the emergency experience, we have realized liberty needed a stronger protection. Now let us understand what happened in this case. Maneka Gandhi was issued a passport under applicable law. Manika Gandhi suddenly in 1977, the government issued an order impounding her passport. Impound means officially seize or retain. Now, what is a big problem here? The government did not give her proper reasons, did not provide her hearing, or simply directed the surrender. She challenged this action before Honorable Supreme Court. She argued this action violates Article 21, that is personal liberty, Article 14, that is equality, and Article 19, the freedom. Why Article 19? Because travel and movement affect freedom. Why Article 14? Because arbitrary state action violates equality. What was government's argument? Government argued that the Passport Act provides legal authority and therefore Article 21 requirement is satisfied. But the main legal question was, the constitutional question became, does procedure established by law mean any procedure, or must there be the must that procedure be fair? The Supreme Court completely changed constitutional law. Major holding that number one, procedure must be fair. The court said procedure under Article 21 cannot be arbitrary. It must be fair, just, and reasonable. This completely destroyed the earlier narrow interpretation. So think of it like this: a rule saying teacher can punish any student without hearing is technically a procedure, but is it fair? No. The constitution demands fairness. Major holding 2, the golden triangle theory. This was perhaps the biggest constitutional breakthrough. The court said Articles 14, 19, and 21 are interconnected. You cannot examine liberty in isolation. A law affecting liberty must satisfy Article 14, that is non-arbitrariness, Article 19, reasonableness, and Article 21, fairness. So let's take simple example. Suppose government bans your travel. Court will ask, is it arbitrary under Article 14? Is restriction reasonable under Article 19? And is procedure fair under Article 21? The court reinforced the principle of audi alterum partem, meaning hear the other side. So before taking adverse action, government should generally give hearing. Measure holding 4. Article 21 expanded massively. This judgment transformed Article 21 from a narrow procedural clause into a vast human rights provision. Because of Maneka Gandhi case, later courts recognize right to dignity, right to livelihood, right to privacy, right to clean environment, right to legal aid, right to education, right to emergency medical care, and right to shelter. This case corrected the rigid Gopalan approach. Earlier rights were isolated. After Maneka Gandhi case, rights became interconnected. This reflects a mature constitutional democracy. Rights are interpreted broadly to protect citizens, not narrowly to empower government. Suppose authority cancels your license without notice, hearing, and explanation. After Maneka Gandhi case, such action may be unconstitutional. So, this judgment is called constitutional revolution because it expanded liberty, strengthened due process values, limited arbitrary executive powers, and transformed Article 21. This case established one timeless constitutional truth: government cannot deprive liberty through unfair law. So, in conclusion, Maneka Gandhi case transformed Article 21 from a simple procedural clause into the beating heart of the constitutional liberty. If you found this explanation useful, do like, share, and subscribe to Legal Talks with CS Yatin. We will discuss more constitutional cases. Till then, happy learning and goodbye.